Traditions Bank brings you What's Cooking with Teresa, and we want to thank them for being our lead sponsor. Today on the program, we're going to be doing an Easter meal, something family-oriented, and it's fairly simple. We're going to do a baked glazed ham. We're going to do garlic mashed potatoes, broccoli salad, a deviled egg that's got a little twist to it, and then we're going to do a fruit salad, something a little on the lighter side. And then if we can work it into the program, we're going to show you how to dye the old-fashioned Easter eggs. So y'all come back and join us after the sponsors, and we're going to get started. Really thank our sponsors for sponsoring What's Cooking with Teresa, and Traditions Bank of Coleman is our lead sponsor. And if you're looking for a friendly community bank, one with low interest, a friendly staff, they have 6 locations. They're downtown, Holly Pond, Dodge City, and then out of Coleman is Arley, Hayden, and Priceville. So you need to give Debbie a call if you're looking for some low interest rates now. The number is 256-735-2138. And Doug Doggett Jewelers, they have been in business since 1981, him and his family. They're located on 215 Compass Way. They're down beside Ryan's Restaurant. They have stunning jewelry. They do appraisals, they do in-store repairs, and they also do custom jewelry and engraving. So give them a call. Their number is 256-734-7883. And Dr. Sherry Swader, MD, and Diana Wilhite, CRNP. They're CPC Neurology and Professional Building 3 at Coleman Regional Medical Center. They do diagnosis and treatments of the nervous system and disorders, including the brain, the spinal cord, nerves, and the muscles. They do EEGs, nerve conductive studies, and lumbar puncture. The number is 256-736-1615. That's 1615. And we also want to thank the family practice group that's in downtown Coleman. It's Coleman Family Care. They are located about a block south of the old Coleman Hospital and the Folsom Center. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and they do take walk-in patients, on their regular patients. If you're a regular patient there, you don't have to have an appointment. They can work you in on certain hours of the day. You need to give them a call. Their number is 256-734-3202. So when you see any of these sponsors, tell them thank you for sponsoring our show.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Coleman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs. The variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Thank you for coming back to us. I hope you enjoy the show today, and we're going to start with doing a baked glazed ham. Now, a little information on your hams. There's 3 different ways you can buy your hams. One is a raw product, one is a partially cooked, and one is a fully cooked ham. What I'm doing today, I bought a boneless, fully cooked ham, but you still have to cook it and prep it. On a fully cooked ham, what you do is you have the weight of the ham, and then you multiply the minutes that you cook it by the weight. On a fully cooked ham, 10 to 20 minutes per pound. Partially cooked ham, you do about 20 minutes, 25 minutes per pound. And on a raw ham, it does take longer. You're going to do 20 to 30. But always keep a check on it, because you'll want to baste it throughout the cooking time, and then you'll also want to check the temperature of it. Today I'm just doing a small ham, and it's a boneless, what they call a boneless pit ham. I've already cooked it up probably 3/4 of the way. I've taken it out. In the last quarter of the cooking session, what you want to do is you're going to give it that glaze and then pop it back in the oven for about another 20 minutes. So we're going to start with, I'm going to brush it with a little butter. I've melted some margarine. You can use butter or margarine. So we're just going to glaze it just a little with the butter. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to take, I've got my glove because I'm going to have to use it. I'm going to sprinkle it with a little kosher salt. I like the flavor of the kosher blended with my brown sugar. You don't want to use much because the ham already is a salty product. So this could get a little messy, so I usually try to have a glove close by. I've got my brown sugar, and I'm going to hope it sticks to it. You just want to press it onto it. Of course, it's not going to really stick to the sides, but as this cooks on the last leg of the cooking session, it'll run down and flavor the sides. And actually, it'll go translucent. So when the product is completely done, you won't even know that it was on there other than the sheen that it gives. Okay. What I also have done, I know you've seen on programs and on commercials and on different stuff where the ham has a crisscross textured and a look to it. So all you do on that is, and I've already did it before the program because I didn't want the skin to fall off while I was doing it, so I don't want to make sure it did it. You just score before you do this. You score crossways and you go just about a 1/16 of an inch down, not really into the meat much, and then you come back and do a crisscross. And what that does is after you put the brown sugar on, it's going to open up and bake down into it. So we're finished with this. What we're going to do is set this aside, pop it back in the oven, and let it do that last bit of cooking. Now we're going to do the garlic mashed potatoes. And you start with about 5 pounds of potatoes, and you peel and boil the potatoes. Now I do put a little bit of garlic in, a couple of garlic cloves while they're boiling because I want it to get down into the potatoes. I've already cooked the potatoes, drained the potatoes, so we could just jump right into it. About 5 pounds, 4 to 5 pounds is just a good average size for the family. And get all my little utensils over here. I'm going to start with adding about, I don't know, we're going to do about 3 tablespoons of butter. I melt the butter in advance. That way I know it just incorporates in all the potatoes. All right, about a teaspoon of salt. And I do a little mayonnaise in my mashed potatoes. Not a lot of people does, but I do. It just gives it that smooth flavor. And we're going to do, I'm going to use the same one I did with the butter because it's not going to matter. It's going in the same thing. About 2 heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise. Okay? Now we're going to get my trusted old-fashioned potato masher. I love this. I like having a few lumps in my potatoes versus the smooth potatoes. I know a lot of people doesn't like that, but I do. As you start mashing it, I usually add more ingredients as I go, but it's really easier to start out with a small amount because you can't take it away once it's there. Okay. A little manual labor here. I'm about halfway finished. Even though I did boil a couple of cloves of garlic in with the mashed potatoes, I still, if they're going to be garlic mashed potatoes, do the garlic, okay? So we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder because I really want to taste that garlic flavor. And I really drain these potatoes well. And since I don't like pasty potatoes, I always have some cream handy. You can either use cream, whole milk, skim milk, whatever you prefer. And actually, all the recipes we're doing today, you can modify them for your need. Since today we're going all out, we're doing heavy cream. Because you don't want to have your potatoes so pasty that you can't work them. Okay. It is easier with a mixer, But this is so much better. All right, I'm going to do a little more butter. Because when you think of, to me, when I think of garlic mashed potatoes, you know, you want that butter and garlic just all goes together. Looks like we're having garlic mashed potatoes coming together here. Okay. A little more cream. I just don't like the consistency. It's a little dry. I tell you, I'm going to taste these before we go much farther, just to see if I need to add a little more salt, because it's better to do the salt while you're mashing so you can get it all in there. Add more salt. About another half a teaspoon. Okay. See, that way as you mash, you're incorporating the salt, and it doesn't just stay in one spot. Okay. I think we've got those done. We'll put this over here. How do y'all like this bowl? I picked this bowl up at a flea market, and I thought, what southern food can we put in a bowl like this? Because it is an old bowl. Now, if you like your potatoes a little softer than this, you can use the blender, the mixer, I mean. If you like them a little more moist, if you don't want to use any more calories and you don't want to do the skim milk, you can add a little more water to it. But I like to drain all the water out because it's easier to add it back than it is to take it out, like I said. Okay, now, what I like to do for presentation, get a little bit of the melted butter, and this is the main reason I melt the butter, because at the end, I like to drizzle. Okay. And I'm going to sprinkle a little chives on top. Now, if you do have someone that is allergic to onions, you can omit the chives, and you can do parsley, you can do fresh, you can do dried. And there we go. So there's our garlic mashed potatoes. We have our ham that we're going to pop back in the oven. And what we're going to do after we listen to the sponsors, we're going to come back and start on that broccoli salad. So you come back and join us. If you're looking for a great bank, a friendly bank, you need to check out Traditions. And if you do, thank them for being one of our sponsors, because they are a lead sponsor for our show. At Traditions, you'll get a friendly staff, one that'll make you feel comfortable. They've helped me and my family for many years with our banking needs. You can do online banking. They have low interest rates right now. You just need to call Debbie. The number is 256-735-2138, and give them a try. Tell them Teresa sent you. Also, Axis Realty and Farmers Insurance, both are owned by Tanya Williams. She's located at Good Hope, just before the Clayton Mobile Homes. Tanya's been doing insurance and real estate for years. If you need commercial insurance, farm insurance, life, auto, homeowners, mobile homes, boats, recreational vehicles, give her a call. Actually, she is our insurance person. We have property insured through her. If you're also looking for some real estate properties, give her a call. Right now she's got Smith Lake property that she really needs to move. So give Tanya a call, 256-736-2636, and tell her Teresa sent you. And Coleman Primary Care, they're located downtown in Coleman. Dr. Greg Bostick, Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Elliott, Dr. Quinn, Dr. Schindel, and Dr. Kosha. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. They're one of our sponsors, and we want to thank them. You need to give them a call if you have any need. Give them a call, 256-734-3202. And Chastity Jordan, she's a hairstylist here in Coleman. She's a master cosmetologist. She's been doing it for over 16 years now. She's located at J. Drake Salon, and she does cuts that'll fit your facial shape. She does coloring that fits your cuts. She can do the whole family. All the hair needs you have, just give her a call. Number's 256-734-2042. Tell her that you've seen the cooking show, and you want to thank her for being one of our sponsors.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Cullman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs, the variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Welcome back. Now we're going to do a broccoli salad, and I've done a little twist to it. I know I found different recipes and recipe books, but this is one I've made for years, and you can add or take away. You can, any of these recipes we're doing, you can also make them low fat or fat free. You can do a low fat mayonnaise, a low fat cheese, but you know, I prefer the real taste. If you're doing it for your family on a holiday like Easter, go for it. So what we've started out, when I do my broccoli salad, I do not like the big chunks of broccoli. So I have chopped up fairly small, about 3 bunches of broccoli if you pick it up from the grocery store. And I don't know if you can see, let me dump these in, and then I will show you about how fine. Just a small, you know, that way it all blends together. So what we're going to do, we've got our broccoli in, and there's no means, you know, it's whatever you put in first, doesn't matter. I've got a cup of cheese we're going to start with. I've got a small red onion, and after I chopped it up, it looked like it might have been a little bit much for the recipe. I'm going to hold off on this tidbit just to see if I need it. I've got some just regular salted party peanuts. But what I do with these also, I don't know if you can see as I pour them, I've chopped these up a little smaller. Some are left whole, some are small, but I've got almost a cup of the chopped peanuts. Then just regular raisins, a cup of raisins. Okay, pound of bacon. I've pre-cooked the bacon, and you want to cook it crisp, crumble it, and you know, leave a few larger chunks. And I'm just going to put the bacon in. Okay. So once you get all your ingredients in, then I take 2 cups of mayonnaise. And I don't know if whenever you buy broccoli, if you're like me, sometimes the bunches are smaller than the other. Sometimes your bacon, when you cook it, it shrinks more than it does at times. So if you've cooked a pound and it's not enough, do more. If you've cooked a pound and it's too much, use less. Same way with the mayonnaise. Once you get all this in the container to mix, you start out with the 2 cups of mayonnaise, and I may not use it all. I'm going to gradually add it. This is my sugar, and I'm just going to do this. This is, I know it's just a regular spoon, but when you heap it up, it's going to be about a tablespoon. So we're going to start with 3 tablespoons of sugar. Okay? Now this is the only thing I do pre-mix before, because you want to get the balance of the mayonnaise and the sugar that's going to make your dressing for the broccoli salad. And I'm a sweet freak. Couldn't tell by looking, could you? But I just like everything sweet. My mother liked everything sweet, so I do too. So now I'm going to get my trusted taste spoon. Let me get a clean one, because it's going to go into an item that's going to go in there. And I do hate to taste of mayonnaise like that. But a trusted cook would do that for you. Needs a little more sugar. We're going to do about another tablespoon. And I feel like I have mayonnaise on my lips, so I do apologize. But I will not touch the food with that hand, because I touched my face with it. That's a habit from being a caterer, I guess. You watch where you put your hands. All right. Now, I'm going to start by using about 3/4 of our mixture. And you're just going to toss it. You don't want it real dry, but You don't want to let the mayonnaise overpower the broccoli either. And what I do, this is a little trick I do with a catering, and I do it when I have family or guests coming over. You can prepare all of this the day before. You can even prepare it and put it together in the bowl. The only thing I would leave out would be the bacon, because it will get soft, and leave the mayonnaise mixture out. Or you can just put it all together in Ziploc bags, set it all in your bowl that you're going to mix it in, put it in the fridge, cover it and put it in the fridge. Then when it comes time to prepare it, you want to mix it no more than 30 minutes before you're going to serve it anyway, if you can, if you're allowed that time. This looks a little dry. I kind of thought it would be, but I didn't want to mess it up. I think it's going to take all of it. Now this particular recipe, I don't put any salt in it. You're getting the salt from the peanuts. You're getting the sugar from the dressing that you mixed up. Sugar from the raisins, salt from the bacon. Combination is super. It comes together unbelievably. You want to see just a little bit of a sheen on this broccoli. You don't want it to have a white mayonnaise-y base like you would a potato salad or a pasta salad. Because if you do, then it's going to overpower all these ingredients that you've got in here. All right, that's come together. We're going to bowl it up. See the colors? They're just great. Okay. Like I said, this recipe can be made extremely healthy if you want to cut back on the fat in your cheeses. Now the bacon, I would advise not to use bacon bits. It just is not the same. You just can't get that same flavor. So always do real bacon when you're doing your broccoli salad or any salad. Now we're going to start on our deviled eggs. I'm moving kind of quick here because I do want to get this in. And I think doing the deviled eggs is just something. Sometimes you may not want to serve the deviled eggs at Easter, because at Easter you're going to have boiled eggs. And at our house we never wasted anything. If those eggs were not cracked and they didn't stay out long, we ate them. So what I'm going to start out with on our deviled eggs, I've got my eggs. It's already pre-boiled, and I've already started cutting some. I've got sweet pickle relish, mayonnaise, and I probably won't use all this mayonnaise because in this recipe I add until I get the consistency I want. I've got a little paprika, a little Cajun seasoning, and here's a twist. Cooked crumbled sausage. I've got about 1/2 pound of sausage, and I may not use it all. The reason I have extra is I know you think you should know what goes in there, but when you buy different brands of sausages, sometimes it cooks to nothing, sometimes you have an abundance. This is a high quality sausage that I get, it's ground locally, and so therefore it doesn't cook down as much. So therefore that's why I have the extra sausage that I may not use. Glad that didn't break. Okay, what we're going to start with, we're just going to start doing cutting our eggs. Now I have more yolk in here than what that one egg provided. The reason is I had a couple of eggs that didn't peel well. You know, this is life. Even though it's a program, it's live. It didn't look good, so I just tossed the whites. And I'm using the extra yolk because I like a lot of filling. If your egg tears, don't discard it right then because you might want to use it. If you wind up with an abundance, then you discard it. Because once you put the filler in, it's going to be fine. That'll be the one that you get. If you're like me, I try to eat my mess ups so nobody else will get them. This is a little time consuming, and what I like to do, this is another little hint. You can boil your eggs and peel them the night before. You could cook your your sausage the night before, because when you've got company coming, when family's coming over to eat, you do not want to be in the kitchen the whole time. And this is something that the kids can do. You know, once you cut the eggs open and you lay the eggs on a platter, and you have all the ingredients there for the children, you can let them mix it up and put it into the egg whites. So I would stop here just for television's sake. All these eggs need to be done because they're going to be eat. And if I stop, they won't get mixed up. So, and if you do leave a little bit of the egg yellow inside like I've done, I'd rather do that than take a chance of cutting the egg. Because sometimes, like this one, it's still in me fits. So you can leave it in there. It's not going to hurt a thing because your filling's going to cover it up. And you're going to have enough flavor in the filling that it's going to cover that yolk up. See, that one popped out perfect. I usually start out on just a regular plate with these, and then I transfer them to a platter before I serve them. Because that way, as you pop it in or put it in, it's not going to mess up. So, okay, I just need to wipe my hands. Okay, to this, I'm going to put just a tad of mustard. You don't even want to use a half of a teaspoon. I just do one little squirt. It just gives it just a little zing. Okay, and to this, I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to do about half of my sausage because it cooked up so well. I'm not going to use it all yet. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of my sweet pickle relish. I'm going to sprinkle just a couple of pinches of Cajun seasoning, not much, just enough to give it that little twist. And the mayonnaise, this is where I do just a little at a time again. I'm going to start, that's about 3 tablespoons. Let's start with that. I'm going to break your eggs up. Just mash them with the back of your spoon, because this is one thing you do not want to bite into, a clump of egg yellow. Doesn't taste well. Has a dry, pasty flavor. And you see how the sausage, it just gives it more of a hearty flavor. I think my mother did this to get the boys to try it. And it just stuck with us. So now I very rarely make my deviled eggs without the sausage. That doesn't look well to me. I want some more sweet relish. So I'm just going to eyeball it. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. You get a clean spoon. Get a couple of more clean spoons here because I may need them. This is more than a tablespoon, so we're just going to do a heaping, which will probably make 2 tablespoons. That's looking like I want it to look. Because you want it to be smooth, you know. You don't want it to be runny because it will not set in the eggshells. You don't want to put too much of the liquids in. You want it to mix well. Mash in the egg yellows. When you think you have them all mashed up, you're going to see one jump up there. Okay. Now, let me get another clean spoon and test it. Perfect. Perfect. So now, I'm really using a lot of spoons on this one, aren't I? Okay. The reason I'm getting 2 spoons is as you heap up spoons of your filling, you're going to use the other one to pull it out. Okay? And it may not look well on this platter, but that's okay. That's why you do it on one, transfer to the other one. So, I'm going to get a few of these done so you can see what's going on. Actually, sometimes on these, for color, I put a little pimento. You can open up a little jar of pimento, put about a teaspoon, and if you do run across some egg yellow, I do this. But you can put about a teaspoon of the paprika inside. Gives it some more color. So we're going to do a couple of more, then we're going to dress the tops, and then we'll go check on our sponsors again and thank them for bringing us this Easter meal. Okay. One more. A little more on that one. Okay. Now what I like to do is I've got a little of the Cajun seasoning. For the ones that likes it a little spicy, Just put a little Cajun on top. Not much. You just want just a tad. All right. For the ones that doesn't like the spice, do a little paprika. Even though it looks hot, paprika has just a mild peppery flavor. A little smoky peppery flavor. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the sponsors, and while we're gone, I'm going to finish these up, and then we're going to plate them up, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you how to do a fruit salad that's, there again, you can make it light or you can make it tasty. So come back and join us. We want to really thank our sponsors for sponsoring What's Cooking with Teresa. And Traditions Bank of Coleman is our lead sponsor. And if you're looking for a friendly community bank, one with low interest, a friendly staff, they have 6 locations. They're downtown, Holly Pond, Dodge City, and then out of Coleman is Arley, Hayden, and Priceville. So you need to give Debbie a call if you're looking for some low interest rates now. The number is 256-735-2138. And Doug Doggett Jewelers, they have been in business since 1981, him and his family. They're located on 215 Compass Way. They're down beside Ryan's Restaurant. They have stunning jewelry. They do appraisals, they do in-store repairs, and they also do custom jewelry and engraving. So give them a call. Their number is 256-734-7883. And Dr. Sherry Swader, MD, and Diana Wilhite, CRNP. They're CPC Neurology and Professional Building 3 at Coleman Regional Medical Center. They do diagnosis and treatments of the nervous system and disorders, including the brain, the spinal cord, nerves, and the muscles. They do EEGs, nerve conductive studies, and lumbar puncture. The number is 256-736-1615. That's 1615. And we also want to thank the family practice group that's in downtown Coleman. It's Coleman Family Care. They are located about a block south of the old Coleman Hospital and the Folsom Center. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and they do take walk-in patients. On their regular patients. If you're a regular patient there, you don't have to have an appointment. They can work you in on certain hours of the day. You need to give them a call. Their number is 256-734-3202. So when you see any of these sponsors, tell them thank you for sponsoring our show.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Coleman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs. The variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Welcome back. I've got a little step ahead. I've already pre-washed my fruit. I've already started slicing some, so we're going to continue with the slicing. I've got everything else measured out to go in, and we're going to jump on it. If we get finished with this, I do believe we're going to have time for those eggs. What I'm doing is, this fruit salad, try to use your hearty fruits. Use your apples, pears, and what I try to do is just do color. I'll use some either. If you want it tart, use your Granny Smith apples. If you want it sweet, like I've already said, I like the sugar stuff. I use usually a Yellow Delicious and a Red Delicious apples. I also use the pears because I like the multicolor. I've got my greens going, my yellows going. I use red and white grapes. That gives it more color. And then I add the raisins, the coconut, all kinds of stuff to it. But this is the most time-consuming part. It's getting everything sliced up, sliced and diced as we'll call it. Doesn't matter the size. You just want them to be bite-sized. Sometimes I'll do some a little smaller just by chance. Sometimes it'll get too large. And cutting fruit is very hard because it's curvy and you can't just go down with your chef's knife. But there we go. Any seed that you come across, just throw them in my trash bowl here. I'm doing the pears now. I've already cut those out, seeded those out, and I'll show you how I do those when I cut a few more apples because I'm getting a lot of green in here. And I'm going to hold off on those because I want to balance my red color in. Just take your apple, cut it in half, and then quarter it. Okay? And then I just make it like a boat. Cut the interior membrane out that's got the holes of seed. Okay. Let's do one more red. Because I've already done some yellow delicious, and then I put the pear in there. I had 3 pears cut, and actually I only put in about 2 3/4 pears. But you can eyeball it. If you don't like pears, leave them out. If you love them, add more. So the thing of it is, in a fruit salad like this, you don't want to use your soft fruits, such as your strawberries, your kiwis, oranges. Oranges get mushy, pineapples get mushy. That'll be an entirely different fruit salad. This one, you're just using your hearty fruits. And wash your fruits really good. And actually, sometimes what I do is I have my bleach water in a spray bottle, tablespoon of bleach in a spray bottle. That will disinfect anything in your kitchen. And sometimes I'll just do a little spritz over my fruit when they're in the bowl on the peelings, and then rinse very, very well. That way you know you've got everything off. Any germs that would be on there, and then any when you rinse it well, then you're going to get all the bleach off of it too. Okay. I think I'm going to stop there. Okay? Because once I add all the other ingredients, I will not have room to mix. So I'm just going to set this out of the way. Set our extra fruit out of the way. I'll put it right here. Because what we're going to do is get our other fruits mixed in. I've got about two cups of red grapes and about 2 cups of white grapes. Add it to that. I have 1 cup of chopped pecans. Just layer it in there, doesn't matter which order. 1 cup of raisins. You can use the yellow raisins, you can use the red raisins, or the dark, doesn't matter. Then I have 1 cup of coconut. Okay, to this we're just going to set it aside. Same way as the broccoli salad. What we're going to do is we're going to take a mayonnaise and a sugar mixture. Okay, and this is going to be your dressing. And believe it or not, even though we're using the same mayonnaise and sugar ratio, it's not going to taste the same in the broccoli salad. You're going to have a totally different thing. Oh, one thing I do want to do. I squeezed a half a lemon in the bottom of the bowl because I didn't want my fruits to turn. And I'm going to do just a little bit more. Give it a little bit of that citric. Okay. If you squeezed it all, I'd probably get about a tablespoon more out of that, but I'm not going to do that because I don't need it. I'll put it right there. All right. Now I've got 2 cups, about 2.5 cups of sugar, and mayonnaise. So what I'm going to do is add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Since this is supposed to be a somewhat sweet side dish or / dessert, you do want this a little sweeter than the broccoli mixture that we used on the broccoli salad. And actually, I can tell by looking at that, it's not got enough sugar in it. And I know that sounds crazy because you say, how can you tell? But once you do this enough, you'll be able to see the little crystallized grains in the mayonnaise form. And it just kind of makes that mayonnaise go a little translucent. 2 more tablespoons. I'm going to start with this. Just give it a good stir. Now we're going to taste. Too mayonnaisey. You want the sugar in this case to override the mayonnaise. The mayonnaise is going to make it stick to the fruit. And actually it looks like what we're going to be using on this case is about 2.5 cups of mayonnaise to about 3/4 cups of sugar. Possibly even up to a cup of sugar. And you can make this healthier by using a low-fat or non-fat mayonnaise. You can use Splenda in it, in which case the Splenda or any other artificial sweetener, non-calorie. Let me get another spoon here and try this. Much better. Much better. So, I'm going to give my fruit a little toss before I do the mayonnaise, because I don't want the mayonnaise just to stick to the top of the coconut and the nuts and the raisins. You want to get a good mixture. So mix your fruit up. And look how pretty this looks. If you don't want to use any mixture, mayonnaise mixture, the sweet base, you probably wouldn't have to. But the mayonnaise will actually help hold the fruit. And I have done this on catering jobs where I've mixed this up just right before we would serve it. And it'll actually hold for in an iced bowl with ice under it for a couple of hours. It still looks good with the mayonnaise mixture. So, okay, I'm going to add about half of this because I don't want it to be too overpowering and just be a mayonnaise type of dish. Okay, it's coming together. I don't know why I spin my bowl. I spin my bowl. And I've never seen anybody else really spin their bowls, but I do. When I make homemade biscuits, it really spins. Okay. I want to add just a touch more, not much, because I pulled up some dry ingredients from the bottom. Okay. I think we've come together with a fruit salad. Yeah, that's it, guys. I've brought some little dessert bowls. What we're going to do is I want to set this aside. We're going to spoon it into our dessert bowls on the next segment for serving. But right now, I really want to jump into those eggs because I want to show y'all the old-fashioned way of doing boiled eggs, Easter eggs. Okay, let me get everything over here. My mother always used coffee cups. Kind of crazy. You always do the same thing as you're taught when you're young, I guess. And I'm clanging a lot, and I do apologize. But what you do, start out with how many colors you want to use. Doesn't matter. And then we're going to take our eggs out of the pot where they've boiled. If any has cracked, just discard the cracked ones. You don't want to, unless you want to practice with the cracked ones. We're going to take our boiled eggs out. And when you do this, your eggs have to be hot and your water has to be hot. Because otherwise the color will not adhere, it will not stick and stay on it. There's a cracked one, but we're going to practice with it. You can always turn the crack upside down, can't you? Okay. Now, I'm going to set these aside. The trick to making the food coloring stick to your eggs is vinegar. I know it's kind of crazy, but that's it. We're going to do 4 colors. I'm going to do red. Just squeeze it in there. I use about a half a bottle when I do it, if they're the small ones. I'm going to do yellow. And when you wash the cups, it's not going to stick to the cups. We're going to do green. This brings back such memories. I did it with my mom when I was young. I did it with our boys when they were young, because you know when the Easter Bunny comes, you just don't have enough eggs. The more eggs to hide, the better it is. So my mom and I, we always made Easter eggs, extra Easter eggs the night before Easter, and then I had a bowl of Easter eggs to hide, and then I had my Easter basket. So, you know, and then Dad was happy because he ate a lot of eggs. Now to this mixture, here comes the vinegar. You're going to put about 2 tablespoons of vinegar in each one. You see the color coming up? We're going to ladle. Now moms and dads out there, this is where you need to be doing this part. Mom always put the food coloring, the vinegar, and the water in, and then I came along and made a mess with eggs. But that's okay. It's part of it. You want to fill them about 3/4 of the way full, no matter what size you use. So that's why I'm not giving a distinct amount, because all my cups are different. And I just picked out some clear cups because I wanted you to see what they look like. All right. Now here comes the fun part. Put a towel under a little baker's rack, a cooling rack. Gently drop your eggs and leave the spoon in it, okay? So I have a spoon for each one, okay? Because you're going to want to pick that egg up in a minute and see what it looks like. Now, I had brown eggs, so that's what I used. The white eggs will do just as easily, just as well. You'll have different colors, but look at that. It's already turning. And this was my favorite part. I would always just lift them up. Now, if you had a white egg on this, it would be more of a pale yellow. With the brown eggs, it looks more mustard. See the green? Okay. See the blue, how it's working? So I like not only just to use the dark eggs, I like to use the white ones too. That way you'll get a different color. All right, take them out. That's where it's messy. I'm going to drop another one in, show you how to mix your colors. I'm going to take a yellow out. I'm going to go pretty quick on this one because I want to show you how you can mix your colors. Here, green, and then we have red. Okay, now what we're going to do on this yellow one, I'm going to take it, let it color a little more. On the blue one, this is going to make an ugly purple. Drop it in your red. Look at that. Sometimes it takes and sometimes it don't. I just like to experiment with your eggs. Okay? Now if you'll take your yellow, drop it into your red for just a moment. You're always going to want to go yellow to red, never red to yellow. Now we have an orange egg. See? You can just play around with these. And so I'm going to be dropping these in, letting them be setting up color. And we're going to go to our sponsors. We're going to thank them again. And come back and we're going to pull all the meals together, show you what you've done. We might even have a special guest to come in and taste it here at the station. So y'all come right back. If you're looking for a great bank, a friendly bank, you need to check out Traditions. And if you do, thank them for being one of our sponsors because they are a lead sponsor for our show. At Traditions, you'll get a friendly staff, one that'll make you feel comfortable. They've helped me and my family for many years with our banking needs. You can do online banking. They have low interest rates right now. You just need to call Debbie. The number is 256-735-2138 and give them a try. Tell them Teresa sent you. Also, Access Realty and Farmers Insurance, both are owned by Tanya Williams. She's located at Good Hope, just before the Clayton Mobile Homes. Tanya's been doing insurance and real estate for years. If you need commercial insurance, farm insurance, life, auto, homeowners, mobile homes, boats, recreational vehicles, give her a call. Actually, she is our insurance person. We have property insured through her. If you're also looking for some real estate properties, give her a call. Right now she's got Smith Lake property that she really needs to move. So give Tanya a call, 256-736-2636, and tell her Teresa sent you. In Coleman Primary Care, they're located downtown in Coleman. Dr. Greg Bostic, Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Elliott, Dr. Quinn, Dr. Schindel, and Dr. Kosha. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. They're one of our sponsors, and we want to thank them. You need to give them a call if you have any need. Give them a call, 256-734-3202. And Chastity Jordan, she's a hairstylist here in Coleman. She's a master cosmetologist. She's been doing it for over 16 years now. She's located at J. Drake Salon, and she does cuts that'll fit your facial shape. She does coloring that fits your cuts. She can do the whole family. All the hair needs you have, just give her a call. Number's 256-734-2042. Tell her that you've seen the cooking show and you want to thank her for being one of our sponsors.
Catering by Teresa is rapidly becoming a tradition to the people of Coleman County. For over 12 years, Teresa has catered corporate events, banquets, class reunions, weddings, rehearsal dinners, business luncheons, and holiday parties. Made from scratch meals with little or no MSGs. The variety of choices ranges from prime rib and ribeye steaks to pulled pork barbecue, grilled pork chops, and chicken cordon bleu. Also good old country cooking like meatloaf, country fried steak, and homemade soups and stews. Even specialty menus include vegetarian, diabetic, hors d'oeuvres, and appetizers. Each job is customized to fit the customer. When you want a memorable event, call Catering by Teresa today.
Thank you for coming back. Now we're going to look and see what we did. And KK Gould has joined us, Channel 2. She smelled it as long as she could. She had to have some. All right, here's what we did. We did our glazed ham, and I've just garnished it with a little lemon and parsley leaves. The parsley, I don't know, just has a good fragrance. We did our garlic mashed potatoes, topped with chives. Then, when we came back after a break, we did our deviled eggs. And I did a twist on the deviled eggs. We did sausage in all of them. But then I've topped them with paprika and then Cajun seasoning and then some with no topping. Some people just don't want the seasoning. And then after that, we jumped into the broccoli salad. The broccoli salad, it's of course, I made it the fattening way with the mayonnaise, the cheese, the bacon, the real bacon, but you can convert it over to a low fat. You can do a fat-free mayonnaise, fat-free cheese, bacon bits, which is not as fattening as bacon, but it doesn't taste as well. So if you modify anything, I think I would still use the real bacon in it with a mayonnaise-based sugar mixture. We come back, and then we did the fruit salad. And it's just a variety of your hard-based fruits like apples and pears and grapes with some coconut, and pecans and raisins and a mayonnaise base. And then at the end, for the ones that's never made the old-styled Easter egg dyeing, we did that. We used the hot water from the eggs. We used vinegar. And then just regular food coloring. And then I also showed how to do that. So any of these can be found on Facebook. We've set up a Facebook page, and I would love it if you would go to it and like it. It's What's Cooking with Teresa. And please go to it, like it, and then what we're doing, we're eventually putting all these recipes up on the Facebook page. So go to it, like it, and enjoy all the recipes. And now we're going to taste this. Are you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
All right.
Ooh, yes.
We're going to grab some spoons. We're going to try the broccoli, the potato.
Can't wait to get in
We'll
those
put some
garlic
in there. Do you want to swap places, girl, so you can dive in?
Let me just.
I've already cut the ham for you. Okay, but I will put the fork and the knife there. And I have a little spoon for the deviled egg.
All right,
Do you know what? I'm going to jump ahead. I've got to try the fruit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to lay a fork right there on the table for you, okay?
Eat your heart out, guys. Oh, I just can't wait to get him.
Now what's next?
No,
what's
wait,
next?
wait a minute. I forgot to get into these garlic mashed potatoes.
I might not have put enough garlic for you because I love garlic, but I shied away a little bit just for TV.
This is good. This is good. But now you could put more garlic in if you want to. And the chives on top of it. That is good.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Now, what are you going to serve for Easter? You're going to serve ham, garlic mashed potatoes, a little broccoli
I'm
salad?
probably going to go out and eat.
Can I go? Please let me go.
My daddy would say, Sissy, now just don't get that. That's no good. No,
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to share it.
That's right. More for him later.
Yeah, he didn't say that, or he'd say, ooh, that is slurping good. I want to get, where is...
What do you need, sweetheart?
Right here. I want...
You're going to taste the fruit salad.
And you know, ham and fruit go so good together.
Well, I started to do a really heavy dessert. And I thought, no, we're going to do the fruit salad because these fruits that I did now, they're in season. You know, apples, the grapes, everything is in season.
Oh, that ham is divine.
All the glaze is, I just did brown sugar and butter and a little bit of kosher salt.
And you scored it.
I scored it.
Now, I've been scoring mine the wrong... You did yours at an angle.
I did mine at an angle.
So all the sugar...
It goes down in it.
Yeah, get down there, and the flavor. Guys, y'all just go back. You know, y'all can't... I'm going to take this home with me. This is going to be my...
She thinks. There's people behind the scenes back there with mouths drooling.
Yeah, really. Put your tongues back in, guys.
You know, we really hope everybody has a very blessed Easter. And just remember what the holiday means. Christ died for us. We celebrate it with food, family, with the Easter Bunny. Of course, the Easter Bunny has to come for the children. And just get together with your family and enjoy it. And like I said, if you have a question on any of the recipes, give me a call. Our webpage is www.whatscookingwithteresa. If you go on there and you have a question, you can also ask it and it'll come to me. And or if you want to give me a call, I think my number's on there. But just enjoy. Just enjoy.